So welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about more about extraterrestrial, because everybody wants to know more. Everybody's curious about it, but a lot of time people are a little afraid to know more because, of course, we never learn from our society about this. So history and
it changes all the religions.
Exactly.
So we can't own that.
So it will put in jeopardy our relationship with ourselves, with our family, government, society, teacher. So it takes a lot of gut to figure it out and believe and listen. So my best way to tell everybody, I always say, when you read something, ask yourself, what do you feel? If you feel right, it means that resonating with you, it means that probably maybe this page of a book is perfect, exactly what you know and is true. So sometimes I have many books I read, or I watch movies or documentary, and not always everything they say resonate with me. But sometimes something like, oh, this is so true. Mm-hmm. So stay with this. Don't believe in anybody that say stuff to you. Believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. Because again, some documentary or some books, sometimes they're good, sometimes they channel information and they receive good information, but not always 100%. So my suggestion is listen what you feel right. And so I started from an early age to be more connected to these possibilities. And so to me, it seems more normal, if you can talk more, or natural maybe, or familiar. Because I was born Catholic, but not very strict Catholic. And truly, in Italy, we are less Catholic than we are here. I'm telling you. So maybe because we are too close to the Pope. When you see more, you understand that there's something fishing around, Sorry, but it's true. Yeah. And so when you're far away, you idealize more. You think, they are
very Catholic.
So is how we go. So what I'm saying is was natural for me to be more open, because I started in the age of 15 to see past life. Mm-hmm. And so this opened me to other possibilities. And at the age of 18, I remember I was doing this meditation and I saw these strange beings, two of them, and they come from Helios, so the sun, and they look like an energy. And I remember this mouth, very strange, looked like a cartoon. They open and they talk so fast because they use this vibrational way to talk.
My people.
And like a zzz. I heard of this zzz, but they are talking to me telepathically probably. Mm-hmm. And I freak out. They want to connect with me. They asked me to be one of the channel for them. But I was 18 and no experience at all about people from other planets. Besides, some cartoon, the Japanese one. I never saw anything. So when they contacted me the first time, I completely freaked out. I closed my mouth and said, no way. So, but this is telling you, if we are not prepared, of course, we can have some moment, because it takes time to adjust to this possibility. Mm-hmm. Makes sense? So it's why I understand people that see things that like normal or unusual, different. But I see that more and more now we have more sighting.
Nice.
I notice.
The government even released videos. Yes. That's what people, I don't understand when people are like, oh, it's not real. I'm like, the U.S. Navy finally admitted, we don't know what this is. The Air Force was mad, but the U.S. Navy's like, here's these videos. You've already seen them everywhere. We can't hide them anymore. We don't know what they are either. But they're not any government's tech. So it's like,
a lot of ex-military, they start to talk more because they finally can talk.
I believe that.
I think they have to now because they're coming.
Yeah, exactly.
We might as well just start slowly getting them ready.
I saw a few days ago, they're talking about this kind of look like a asteroid, but it's not, it's something.
A mothership.
Yes, it's probably a mothership. And they say that it is in our galaxy. They saw coming from the sun as a portal.
So it is coming.
And they start to acknowledge this, and they don't know what it is. So they kind of wonder,
How big is this mothership?
So
there is a lot
of what do you say? Sorry.
I said it's a big mother. I'm sorry.
So we will see. But and again. So what I'm saying is, what is important is listen. Don't pay attention to what other people say, because the only way to understand is about when you feel right for you. Okay. Yes. because it's going to be a time where there's going to be bad and good and a lot of confusion around us.
Yeah.
So, but if you start to find the balance inside of you, you're going to understand what is going on better. Because it's so easy to be misled. And some government or some part of the government maybe going to try to tell you stuff, but this doesn't make any sense.
They're going to want us to, so it's a way to, the whole government, one world order. Right. So, species versus species.
Yeah, but because they say they're afraid the humans going to panicking.
Yeah.
But truly, if they
after everything we've been through,
help us
to
go through this little by little, we will reach a point where it's okay. We can have these people. Yeah. You know, and I can tell you from many books that I started to read years ago, but besides I have some past life memory, because Dolores say everything's happening right now, but so our lifetime where I remember to be from other planets. So Dolores Cannon is is one of my teachers. So the keeper of the garden. She talked about this is beautiful. The custodian. This is one of the books where she talked about ET and how they are connected with us. And centuries ago, they came here, they help us. So there is a lot that's going on. The reason why I want to buy this book, you know why? One time I was doing a session to one of my clients by distance, and I remember to see this pillar of light coming down. So during my recording, because I record only my session, I would say to my client, you are starting to receive this beautiful light. I thought, energize you. And after 2 seconds, I saw this 3 of them. It was like teleporting in front of me.
Oh no.
And I thought, okay. For a moment, I thought, okay. And really, I thought, okay, whatever's going on. And
are you seeing it like a vision, or does it seem like it's in person to you?
I see like a ghosty kind of. So
okay, it's like transparent.
Yes, we see like a real, but not physical material form. It's like,
like a veil.
Yes, exactly. So, and I kind of thought, okay, what's going on here? Very tall, and they look exactly like this. This is why I purchased this book. It was the first time that I was connected to Dolores, because she had this book, and she described exactly this. Yeah. They're real, because you see this kind of pointed chin, and very different from the ET that they show in other places. So it's why
it looks sad.
Yeah, and so when they arrive, they look at me like we don't care about you.
Oh.
So I heard my spirit guide, they show up, my spirit guide, the strong one, Archangel Michael, and other, they arrive and say, let them do it and step out. Just hold the space. And I thought, okay, thank you.
I would be
so they're like back up because they're
like, we know more.
But that's the spirit guides are like, you're powerful on Earth, but
don't involve yourself.
Wow.
So what they did, they didn't want you to see, so they use a bag to cover.
Oh.
And they start to take implants from this lady.
Oh, take them out.
Yeah, some implants. And this is hi dear. They seems not very happy about it. Can you? Okay. They didn't seem very happy about this because, it seems like they are bothered by doing this for me. You know what they say to me, my spirit, because they never talk to me like I was invisible to them, but the way they look at me like boring to come here doing this stuff. So my spirit say they came here because you are doing this session to this lady, and it's part of a deal. If somebody like you does this particular session to a particular
they have
client,
to stop with their stuff.
Yeah, they need to come and take away the implant that is put it to her. So they finally left, and I thought, okay. And this was.
Did they ever look back at you again?
Nope. And what I asked, why this was, what kind of implants she had, and they said.
Or was it wasn't operating her and making her do things, was it?
This lady was Russian, and she moved here, and she worked as a secretary for politician people, and she was in the building with Gorbachev at the time.
So they really do control.
And they say that these beings, through her, were controlling the documents that she was watching.
That's what they say. They say all of it. They say our government, we have a deal with the Greys. They say the U.S. government has a deal with the Greys. And
So
that's why it held power for a moment.
she was not important, but she was the tool
And let
for
them
them,
Yeah.
like a camera to watch
Yeah,
everything.
the tool.
Yeah,
Like how we work on lab rats.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what they
and
think
I-
of us.
And I asked,
Wow.
okay, if nobody will take away these implants, she will be, and the answer was, oh, she will be fine.
Oh.
It changed a little her personality. So
Oh, that's all.
she was more controlling, you know,
Yeah.
because she felt the control. And so she maybe was more controlling kind of person, or maybe part of be more, you know, about stuff.
Like, get this done.
Yeah. So they say, oh, it's like having a sheep and a dog or cow for them. Like, it's,
Yeah.
you know, they don't
And that's
care.
supposedly the Greys have. They can
The
work
Greys
on.
don't
They,
care.
well, that's
Like-
supposedly that they're able to
Yeah.
experiment on us
Right.
So-
because it's part of the deal of it.
Yeah.
What's happened at the end of my session, I closed the session and literally I freaked out for a moment because my first time that I had this incredible experience. I thought, whew. I thought, okay. And so I learned that this woman, after she went to the hospital because she had a pulmonary problem, so she had this kind of
God.
pneumonia or something. So she was fine after a week.
Yeah,
She-
but still,
she was
from them
taking-
pulling it out.
And I learned that it was the reaction because I didn't harmonize because I didn't know.
Right.
So they didn't tell me. Nobody told me about
Also, they blocked you out. So
yeah, they didn't care. They
Rude.
took off his stuff and they
Yeah.
didn't harmonize.
They didn't even tell
He's
you.
gonna survive. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know,
They didn't care.
truly. So, and it was funny because I thought, oh, I didn't harmonize. So now I learned. So a few weeks after, this Italian friend of mine, is a friend, a client, she asked me to work on her father because he had some difficulty. And so, funny, because I have a similar experience. I thought, what is going on here? So I think sometimes I attract what I need to learn.
Ah.
So it's why you go by team sometimes, you know, where you have the same people with same situation for days and weeks and months.
Yes.
So because I was learning.
Yeah.
So this man, not in this lifetime, but the implants were from an ancient time when in Greece he was one of the politician, very, you know, like a spoken one that he was speaking
Yeah.
in public. So
Caesar.
yes, was kind of this kind of philosopher, politician
Yeah.
of the time in Greece. So they came because again, they need to take these implants off from him. So it means energetically because it was only in his soul. Okay?
Whoa.
It was not in this lifetime.
So their
So,
power
and I
is strong.
Oh, come on! I didn't realize that we can carry
Yeah.
implants for so long.
Wow.
That's a lot of
Okay.
lifetimes for that.
And you think about everything's happened now makes more sense because these implants are not too old. It just
Right.
happened in our lifetime, in our reality right now.
And time is not linear.
Yeah. And so this man, again, he had some pulmonary problem too because again I didn't learn to do this. After
Yeah.
these 2 cases I thought, oh my gosh, I need to harmonize. So my friends say, okay, my father is doing better, but he have some, you know, he start to cough a lot. He have some problems, so they give me antibiotic because really his lungs are a problem. And I realized, oh my gosh, besides lungs, they're related to heart.
It's hard.
So I thought that maybe, you know, so after these 2 cases,
Yeah.
I start when it happened again because it's happened again, and I start to harmonize and nobody have any problem anymore. But it was amazing to see this because I thought, okay, anybody can tell me that they're not real, but I can tell you they are because it was not in my mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I really, if you listen to my recording, say, oh, the good energy is coming now, and I say, okay, and there are 3 bees. So like, okay, look like a Star Trek, you know, when the energy.
Beam me down.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's really real. And so this was me. So it's why I can tell you that we are more exposed and connect with everything, but we don't know.
Yeah.
This is the only part. So makes sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the evolution of humanity doesn't seem to map out. It was like this pace, and then look at all those advances.
Exactly.
Someone
Yeah.
tampered
They
with
had
our.
to come-
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to come back.
When Bella was little, when she was finally starting to talk, she used to say, you know, like kids are like, there's monsters under the bed or in the closet. Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, where is that? She's like, the aliens took it last night. That would be what she says.
Wow.
And when she couldn't find something or something happened, she would always say aliens.
But there are
I feel
different.
like they may be visiting her. I don't know.
But what I can say is there are different kind of adoption. Okay,
Yeah.
some can be very bad, and it seems we do it less and less now because it's forbidden more. Thank God. But I can tell you, I receive sometimes some updates because we as a star seed, we are all of you, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, admit it or not, but you need to start to recognize it. The fact that you're here tonight, and you're interested in this because you are part of this. So we choose to be here and to help humanity to wake up. And you can be just a mother. Doesn't need to be a fancy job, but just to be a mom, helping your children and the community is your way for awakening other people, okay? So it doesn't need to be a big, important job, okay? But we need to receive some upgrade because when we moved here, most of us, we forgot about why we're here or where we come from, okay? And so we remember something, but not to the point. And so having this moment where they're coming and they do the upgrade, help us to adjust more and more. Because if you notice, sometimes you will come in the morning and say, I feel so tired, like I work all night. It's part of the job. It's what we do.
Yes.
So I remember when I was 30, around probably 28, 30, having this dream, not dream of course, but where I was in this place where a lot of time, a lot of youngs, sometimes was one speaking, sometimes was one of the listen, others, and I thought, what is going on here? But so many young souls, okay?
Oh.
So I believe that we, as a generation, we create, kind of open the way for the new seeders to come over.
Yeah.
So we participate at night in these meetings without remembering them most of the time. I remember at the time, but you know, and because we deal with them, we made a contract with them, helping them when they come here. Make sense?
Yes.
So, new books that I suggest you to look for. This is for Elena Dannan.
That's in my Amazon cart.
So this is the Cedars, Return to the Gods. And it's very, very nice. And she also, and it's from this year. And I like one other where she did the last year, A Gift from the Stars, the same author. Elena, Dannan. So
she has a YouTube channel.
She doesn't she have a YouTube channel. Yes. So what I like, she wrote there
With all the pictures.
600 aliens that she catalog or something like that. I don't remember how many, but I'm not kidding. So it's very interesting, and she talked more about it. So what she does, she's connect to one of this guy, you know, that they are soul brother and sister, and so she has this implant inside her head that she can communicate directly with him. So he tell her stuff. So sometimes she travel with him. So it's very, very interesting. And she's also an artist and archaeologist. So
she's very educated too. So it's like a level above like what like a normal person would say. Like she'll actually sometimes
Well, I need to get some of
make the references.
Dolores
It's really
Cannon
cool.
books because I know my mother would is gonna like devour those also.
You know also why I like Dolores Cannon? Because she was collecting this information through hypnosis because that's how she does. You know, she was doing. She was hypnotizing people, and through their moment, she was collecting information. And so it's amazing how much deep, and she was very good on asking questions. She was incredible, curious woman. And so she was able to ask so many questions and go so deep in information. But sometimes it's extraordinary because right now, some channel are talking about the same information that she was making. Okay, so looks like she was advanced stuff that is now they're talking more. You know, so it's why, and in a way, I don't know how much hypnosis can be scientific, but in a way, she was connected to the subconscious mind, and so it's why she was receiving this information and be able to write so many books. Okay, Kiki. Yeah, close to you.
Gotta get
Just
that
to be
right
close to you.
spot.
Okay. So, and another thing that I can tell you, when you start to do hypnosis, you can go in places, and it's amazing how much you can find in a first person information by yourself. And if you're not afraid, because I always say to people when you do I call QHHT session, okay, quantum healing
hypnosis therapy.
hypnosis therapy. Thank you. And so when we do this, I always say the first thing right to you, go forward. Don't judge. And it's amazing. People feel like they are trees, a drop of water, or sentient beings that when they look at ourselves like the body say, oh my gosh, I don't have any feet, or my feet are different, or different color, or have only 3 toes, so it's weird, or it's so amazing to see. And some they floating on the space, waiting for the mothership to pick them up after they made an experience. Like, you don't know how many times it's happened this. They repeat the same information, floating in a spacesuit, floating on the in the universe. Sometimes they describe this kind of like a coffin, but it's not glass, but it's right temperature and is helping to survive. And they're waiting for the spaceship, the mothership, to pick them up. So, and I have different clients describe the same identical thing. I thought, what is this? So
they,
imagine
kicked out of another ship. So
probably
something happened.
Or maybe they maybe finish the mission in certain planets, so they go in the place. I don't know how, because they find themselves there. Like, I'm floating on the universe. I say, okay, are you floating just free? So no, and they start to describe they are floating inside this. It's transparent. Look like a glass, but it's not.
I wonder if they're looking like the portal out of they talk about the portal into the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, could be. You're right.
Like
Never thought about
the portal.
World between worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like they're looking out
Just
into
waiting.
the portal of.
Yes.
Yeah, for like
Rounds,
the right moment.
yeah.
One of my clients described it. She was inside this kind of bubble, spaceship, and she said it was organic. So it was like a transparent glass, but it wasn't.
That's
it was
supposed to be what
alive.
the ships are made out of.
It was like a
UFO.
They have a mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like an
they're
extension of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
organic.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this that they described was similar
Yeah.
to this organic matter that is
Right.
connected to them. They can help us to survive until the spaceship arrive and pick them up, and they can go to another mission.
Yeah.
So I know sometimes, it's incredible how many information you can find through people, and they describe things saying, okay, sometimes but it's very, very nice. Sometimes I can see stuff from them, of course, because with my karmic release. But so this is why I know we're not alone.
There was a
Right.
therapist in Alaska that she put everybody under hypnosis. Not Dolores Cannon, which I love. That's what started me on my soul path. But she recorded it, and she had the same experiences, like was being like taken by them. And that because she was recording her audio of like her sessions,
Okay.
and multiple people in the town, when they'd go into hypnosis, had the exact same experience.
Wow.
Oh,
And Alaska would be
man.
prime picking for where they could
Absolutely.
pull people. The U.S.
Exactly.
government's like, you can take the because they're out in the middle of nowhere, so no one can see it, and
And it's cold and
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. And, we talk about also people underneath, like the planets.
Oh yeah, and the water. What's at the bottom of the ocean? Have you seen Abyss? I really feel like that's down there.
Yeah, there's a lot under there.
Because how come we don't ever explore? We're exploring outer space, but we don't even know what's here.
Right.
That's weird.
You
We probably aren't allowed. There's probably like a deal where they're like,
There is
this,
so
this
much
is our part of the planet.
in this
Right,
reality.
right.
Yeah.
They talk about Mount Shasta in the Telosian.
Yes.
Telos. They talk about this group of beings like us. They created under Mount Shasta, and they have a tunnel where they can move everywhere. They can be in Brazil, they can be in every part, or in Europe, anywhere. So the Telosian, they are waiting for us to be, evolve enough to understand, and they have everything underneath. There are books about Telosian. If you look, there are 2 or 3 women that they channel information. Kind of interesting. They talk about regular light inside. They have animals. Everything's very well done. So they are very, very good on this. So it seems that they're real. And exopolitical, from Dr. Sala. A few weeks ago, I was listening to this video with a military DJ, maybe DJ or something, one of the military guy, was talking about be taken underneath, and they met the ant king, and he described like a human, tall, and they say that they live there and they live in peace, and he said that they saw other humans. They decided to live there, have a family, and stay there. And he found out that a lot of people are homeless people. They have nowhere to be, and they offer them to live with them.
Oh.
And if you remember, Native American talk about be helped by ants.
Yeah.
So, in fact, they say that they help for centuries and centuries population, bringing food to them when it was scarcity. And he described this place like a beautiful place where everybody is in harmony and very good. So, and they're waiting for us.
Everybody pulls their load with the ants. They're hard workers.
And everybody waiting, they're waiting
Yeah.
for us to be prepared. Again, they have these healing tools that they want to share with us when we are ready. Again, you see, it's about ready. But if we have certain people that push us don't be ready because they
Destruction, war.
yeah, and they always create fake news, and every time they're confusing everybody. Every time something's so surreal, they say, no, it's a Photoshop. No, it's that. So
They're creating illusion.
exactly. So how we can be prepared? Again, the only way is to ask yourself, what do you feel right? Again, to me, it's the best powerful way that nobody can take from you. Do you agree?
Yes, I love that. If it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you.
Yes, it's the best way. And truly, I think all of us, we have some information. We have sometimes it's your higher self talking to you, okay? So the higher part of yourself tell you stuff, okay? Tell you information, because our higher self knows everything about us, okay? And we are only one little part of us, okay? Probably our soul is another place, and it fragmented, kind of, if you want to use fragmented, divided, in many other lifetime, because we want to experience more. So, and, it's the reason why your higher self knows more, because he have all of this connection, and he can help us to understand more what is really going on. Plus, Telosian and other, Pleiadian, Arcturians, the Aether, they always tell us, let us know that you are open to communicate with us. So when you set the intention, they're gonna start to connect with you. I'm telling you, it's true.
The people that channel the Pleiadians are like a very peaceful, and they talk about a war that was fought over the territory of different alien races that were responsible for Earth. And the Pleiadians are like the peacekeepers, and they don't like the Greys. They said that the Greys, so from one of the channels, they said the Greys were like us once, but you know how we have mortality and we do pass and we go into the soul cycle. They were vain, kind of like humans are now. They can't age. We have to live forever. I don't need to be 500. I'll be good. And so they said that they experimented with themselves to try to keep living longer, like they were playing God, and then their current being is the result of that experimentation, and that supposedly we have a lot of similar DNA with them.
So we talk about the Grey or
the Grey. The Pleiadians tell us about our history. I think the Pleiadians are a little bit beyond us. Like we're kind of like
they have multiple dimensions.
Yeah, the Pleiadians are like very calm, evolved, and intellectual and peaceful. And
the Pleiadians carrying the healing, the healers. They are the healers. They are carrying a lot of good energy, peaceful, very kind of calming, healing energy.
They're very similar to the Andromedans, but the Andromedans, they're more knowledge based, and Pleiadians are healers. They want to heal, and they grow with the dimensions. And people that reincarnate to Pleiadians, they usually stay Pleiadian because they like how peaceful.
Because they're like, I'm not going to be a peasant.
If I remember right, maybe Jesus was one of Pleiadians. They say something, I don't remember.
That makes a lot of sense.
Ancient.
So, you see, I don't know why, there is a lot that's going on. If you start to listen more, I channel the Aether sometimes, and I have this couple coming from me.
Them.
The Aether are above the 12 dimensions, so they don't have any physical body anymore. And the Aether, when I was doing sessions,
I was gonna say you had an alien spirit guide for me, didn't I?
he
was Arcturian,
and his name was
Arthur.
And he called himself Arthur,
and he was Arcturian.
So the Arcturian are the guardian of the Aether. So the Arcturian are more kind of the military kind of, the one that protects more.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they protect more.
Yeah.
And the Aether are more of the, compassionate, high vibrational beings with everything gonna work fine. So they create a lot of enlightenment. So what is interesting, besides the fact that they channel them and they give me a lot of good information, and every time they give me information, I find the day after or the week after confirmation about emails or news, and oh my gosh, so they're really good. And I'm gonna share maybe something that they just say last week to me. But what is interesting, one time I was doing a session to one of my clients, or maybe a couple of clients up in different times, and in Egypt, the author were part of the school, the mystery school, kinda. So the author, the female one, was one of the teacher, and so she was the one choosing the student. And she said one of my clients, she was the choose one, because the parents, when they, for noble family, you know, they have some education, when they saw a child with a certain ability, it was taken to in front of the author, so they can see if they're right for thought different kind of secrets. And so my clients, I don't remember who it was, but I was amazed, because she said she was one chosen by this author, female, and she was really, really connected to her. So she said she did incredible, and she learned a lot from us. So she was able to pass this information after we left the planet. So it was amazing to see how much she cared about this woman, this author that she came, and she explained to me that she was really the one connect to them, and they have a very high vibration energy. She was a child that have a lot of quality, and I thought, okay. So they described to me the school and everything. It was pretty interesting. So the author they left some seeds in Egypt. In fact, you can see the shape, this strange shape of beings.
The Sphinx and all.
They have they I don't have but it's very interesting. The face, you put Hathor with the H, Hathors with the H.
Oh, Hathors.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you for your English.
Hathor.
Yes, Hathors.
Okay,
Hathors. See, my
Hathor,
English
the goddess Hathor. She is the queen of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
So in Egypt,
she is.
This sounds like my session, except I was the wrong race, and so I wasn't allowed. I was like with a high priestess. This was similar to my session with her, and it was a high priestess that was teaching me, but I was like of a different race, and I wasn't accepted. So I was like a clerk helping, but I couldn't go to their like sacred space with them.
But
I bet you don't remember anything.
And that's why you love libraries.
Yeah,
you love
I don't remember.
Yeah,
much. But what I noticed
this is all making sense.
When I do a lot of life in Egypt, a lot of beings, they are teacher, they are hybrid. They are.
That's what I think I was. I was a hybrid.
They are from Atlantis. They moved because they want to leave some information in the secret society, secret schools, and most of the time they are hybrid because they carry some humans. But that's because to be in this reality, the density of the reality, imagine. So they need to have some human side. So they were mixed, and they were doing something. So it's very amazing every time I see them. Mostly are bald, very tall and skinny, long nose. Like, it's funny because, so, and sometimes the skin is a different color, I don't remember I described, but, sometimes the skin can be a little more kind of gray, bluish, kind of, or, different, gold a little, depends on the type. So I was always pretty amazed about seeing them. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a book called the Sophia Code.
Yeah.
And
this keeps coming back.
You literally need to listen to it. Let me see.
Let me get the one.
Authors from Egypt.
And then that one has a black skin.
Because no, that's Sekhmet. That's not her.
Yes, but no.
That's Hathor, the goddess. We're talking about Hathor, the starseed race, where they come from. This is Egypt.
This is
still Earth.
Try to go back.
Yeah.
The author that I'm talking. Okay.
Maybe put starseed with it.
Okay, maybe
it's just pulling up Egyptian. Oh, I put Hathor.
Oh, okay, never mind. Might not. Tom Kenyon, by the way, have 2 books about the authors. Okay,
I
2 books.
Type that in.
Tom Kenyon. Okay, the authors. You will see, but it's very amazing because you see this face sculpted in Egypt in the column. Okay.
What? It doesn't.
They're not going to let us.
Okay, doesn't matter.
My phone does not like being in here. Last time it went dead, and it had
electronics don't work here because of the fairies.
That's true.
Oh,
last night was any indication.
And it's also, and we're also Mercury in retrograde.
Oh yeah,
the printer, then the credit card machine.
Kenyon author. So you will see probably that they're gonna show maybe the book, maybe Tom Kenyon.
Yeah, try that instead.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that we always be surrounded by them. In fact, in the seeders, they talk about 24 seeders came in this planet and left the seeds as a DNA.
Yeah.
And so it's why we have so much variety in this planet. Of course, my video is okay. Not much power.
You want to keep it going?
I don't know. We can, if it's possible, we can keep it going. So it's why we have so many variety. Because come on, when we talk about the Arcturian, only one type in our planet, and Pleiadians, yes. You see, visit. You see in Egypt. You see them in
this
Egypt.
doesn't seem familiar to me.
Face.
Yeah.
Well, they're on.
How it's like it's wider here, and the
It looks
ears
like
are
like elemental creature, like an elf.
They are.
I've never,
Thank you.
Hawthorne?
But
I've never heard of that in Egypt.
Whatever.
I have,
Okay.
I love Egypt. I've never
but
heard
I
them.
didn't know,
I love it.
and I've seen that, but I guess I never like connected it. Like,
But
that's
you can
something
go
different
back
than
to images.
like what I've looked at.
It looks like an elf.
Look for images.
But wider
Yeah,
here.
see,
Yeah.
Like they have like a wider.
Hawthorne material.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are the one that you see in Egypt.
Their ears.
And see,
are
they have like
Bro,
really big
I've
ears.
never seen this. Have you?
In
Yeah.
Egypt, you see this. They
Yeah.
are
Never.
column
Yeah,
with them.
and I've
Wow.
got,
This is,
like,
and I thought I knew
Egyptian
so much about
books and
Egyptian too.
yeah.
That's really weird.
I'm not
Egypt
kidding.
is a lot.
Yes,
Yeah,
these are the
it is.
female.
There's a
I
lot
mean,
there.
There's so,
Let me
so
show you the
much.
female one because the female are. Yes, this is from Egypt. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
From
See,
Egypt.
that one has the
You see the
wider
column
ear.
Yeah.
in Egypt.
And that looks like the hat that the
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
that the king. What do you call it?
King Tut.
What do you call this?
So imagine this, and the female are more.
What's the name of
like,
that? The rulers.
Is that the
Oh,
Pharaohs.
Pharaohs. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Well, they're
That's what the
supposedly
hat like it.
You
half
see?
and half.
I'm not kidding. It's
Some
like-
of them were picked and
Yeah.
chosen by certain
Yeah.
gods and
So-
goddesses.
Yeah.
It's funny because they were described like come on, we have this stuff in a column in Egypt, and nobody questioned this. Seriously. So you can find from Tom Kenyon many of them, and there are the female one that I like because they have some kind of hair,
Yeah.
like so, and it's why I'm telling you more and more. More we can see around, more you can figure out, and also people look at us.
We
We're
are
so
all different.
different. Exactly. We have
Even the fact that our one species has like genetically different bone structure,
Oh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
that makes no sense.
So we talk that we are the most precious race in
Yeah.
this galaxy
That's
because
nice of them.
we carry
Yeah.
more
I was gonna say,
DNA,
that was very
DNA,
generous of them.
the famous trash DNA. Come on,
It's
I
not
can-
trash.
Trash
it's-
DNA. Trash DNA, truly.
just
We're
have to
mutts.
upgrade.
We're mutts.
We gotta
Little bit
upgrade
this
our
galaxy,
DNA a little bit.
80% or 90% is trash DNA. Really, it's like the nature made this mistake. Really, to create this.
They mixed
trash-
us. They mixed us with monkeys. Maybe the evolution was real. Let's take a little bit of this, Earthlings, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Supposedly we are.
Yeah. So we are the most precious.
Yeah.
If you
And
believe
But
in
we
that
can still be
realm.
experiment on it.
yeah,
That's true. Maybe that's why they like us so much,
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, look, we can take like all this trash DNA and
Yeah.
then we can turn it into something that we want.
You wonder about all this stuff coming with AI.
I know.
That creeps me out.
Oh, some of that. Yeah.
Told
it's
you.
pretty-
I think she looked at me too.
I listened to podcasts about that the other day and
Do
it
what?
creeps me out.
What?
It just
I had a
it's
dream
not
that I
good.
was an AI. It's my parallel life.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
But I think most of us we have this experience in our reality.
Oh yeah,
parallel.
oh yeah. I
I'm
know.
pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
I-
Especially in the starseed
I feared
race.
AI since I was a child.
Yeah.
it creeps me out.
I've been fearful, and it's like everywhere. It's on everything now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It's on my
that's
Snapchat.
exciting.
It came up my AI bot. I'm like, can I just delete this? Like, I want you out of here. Creep me out.
I know.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't like
you
it.
know, when I start to see the Borg from Star Trek, you know,
Oh, like
the-
cyborgs? Yeah.
Yes.
the Borg, because
Yeah.
they call the Borg.
Mm-hmm.
You really like, and every time when you feel something, oh my gosh, I don't like this. You feel
I
inside of
think,
you.
yeah.
It means they resonate with you, so you have this experience in a way or another, maybe indirectly, but
Yeah.
you know this is real. This has happened in some lifetime.
And I don't like, and I don't like it.
I
Like,
fear
there's
of
some
it, yeah.
reason that I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Right.
I know. So it's why I say we have a lot of information. By the way, Star Trek was channeled. You know.
Yes.
Star Trek was channeled, and the other Deep Nine, Space Deep Nine.
Oh yeah.
Space Nine.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So is the continuity. So and you can see a lot of information are so real.
Yeah.
But now you find in books and stuff like like a Star Wars they say was real.
And our own timeline of Earth, what they wanted to tell us how old it was, and then we find out how old Earth is.
Yeah. It's like forget about it.
It's 6,000 years old.
Because it was only like I think a year ago that they literally changed. They literally
Right.
changed how they found
I'm
another
like,
skull.
How can you believe that?
They found another skull though, and they changed how old humans were.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And
They don't know anything. They're just
I
throwing
think
stuff
they
out
would.
It's
there.
what they want to
Yeah.
admit to.
Yeah.
It's not actually like what it.
Yeah.
What it is.
Like
What
how
the
would
truth
and
is.
how would we know?
It's
How would you know?
well, we're just going
But-
to tell
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
because based on Jesus Christ, 6,000 years.
do you know that? Okay, Jesus Christ, Constantine tried to, it was a moment when he decided you need to give people a religion something. So
Yeah.
he put few information about some story tale about different kind of situation and he put everything together. So
Yeah, that's not reliable.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I don't
It's
know.
why, Jesus never wrote anything. He didn't write anything. So like he didn't
He
write
couldn't.
anything. So
And the disciples.
I'm
they
sorry.
were
He was a cool
also
hippie, just spreading
illiterate.
love and magic
They were
Exactly.
illiterate
and telling you
I
to
mean,
love.
They could not read or write, so it's like
To love
who
everybody.
wrote Matthew, Mark,
Yeah.
Luke,
Also,
and John.
did not
Because it wasn't
include Mary
Matthew, Mark,
Magdalene.
Luke, and
Exactly.
John.
No
No
females.
females.
Mhm.
exactly. You know why Mary Magdalene was a labeled
Yeah.
prostitute?
She was his
Because-
wife.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
she was
exactly.
traveling alone and
Yeah.
she was a noble woman
Yeah.
into herbs and she was herbalist and healer. So the fact that she was traveling alone as a woman at the time, it was seen as a not right.
And she would have been a witch because she's doing herbs. And
Exactly,
he's like,
yeah.
girl, I don't judge you. My mom, like, supposedly had an immaculate conception, so we're cool.
Right. He's like, I'm down with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry.
no, it's
But
okay.
it's so true though. If you actually
Like in the modern
Think
sense, you
about-
think
That's why I
about
like the
it.
Passion of the Christ because they made him like,
Exactly.
he's just human that like went through some
Yeah.
experiences and
I've never seen it.
yeah,
So
I didn't watch it either.
he's definitely a magician.
Oh, that's
For sure.
And that's what the magician brought him tools on his birth.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
So there is
ascended
a
master.
lot of strange, sometimes you go,
Yeah.
oh, is the truth, it's not the other. So when you start to look at from a different perspective, not from the one that they taught
They
us,
gave
Yeah.
us.
it's like, oh, so you start to see that
Yeah.
everything had a purpose and everything had a reason, but it was completely different.
Yeah.
And it was completely changed and transformed because we need to have a power. I'm sorry, but it truly
Yeah.
goes to the power. They say,
Yeah.
Well, look at
it
the
is
Pope.
that. So if
The Catholic
you know,
Church.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, they've got
library.
documents that are power, and that's why I think Goddess
mean-
Kali. I think she's from a particular planet. I don't know why. I resonate
can
with
see
her,
that.
maybe because I work with her.
She's
so-
blue. She
That's
would
what I think. The
definitely be
arms, like
Syrian.
she was my first that came to me, and I think that was. I think
You
she's from
know,
another planet.
one of my lifetime that I remember years ago, I was in Atlantis. I was, of course, a crystal channeler because for the community because I connect to crystal in a second. So, and when I look at myself in the water lake, I don't know, it was a pond or something. I was surprised because my skin was so blue, like
Yeah. Like
the
Kali?
Indian
Yeah, Kali.
They say
goddess
Shiva was
Yeah.
as well.
was
Yeah.
blue,
Yeah, she
and my
was.
eyes was kind of red. And you look, the deity, they have a red eye sometimes and blue.
I have a card
And-
in the deck that looks like what you're describing.
And my hair was, I don't know, lighter. I don't remember the color exactly, but it was funny. So I look at it, I freak out for a moment. I thought, oh, and I also read that to be, also to have this color skin, if you eat the lotus leaves, they help you to be more a channeler,
Yeah, the blue
Oh,
lotus.
I actually
They-
have that tea. I had
and
some
they give
yesterday.
You
you-
should do it.
and they give you this color of the skin sometimes, and the red eyes, probably. But I believe that I was maybe an hybrid because
Yeah.
the way that I was in Atlantis, so I thought maybe I was connected to some kind of other beings from other planets.
Right.
So, and the fact that they're able, if you look the Indian, story is we talk about flies, saucer, and having
Yeah.
battle on the
Yeah.
sky
Yeah.
and doing stuff, and come on, people.
And also, what did Shiva need Garuda for? Like, that's a big bird. And it was a whole deity in and of itself. So it's like, what did you need that? What did you
Right.
need that bird for?
And that's
For
what
war.
destroyed Atlantis. I'm just kidding.
Garuda just gave it.
So I think we have a lot of information around. They put as a story tells, but I believe that most of the story tells
Based on truth.
are based on truth.
Yeah.
Like the fairy, the dragons,
Yeah.
all of this, they were real. So I
Okay.
believe that
Very
we
interesting.
had a time when it was like the Lord of the
Yeah.
Ring in its reality as at times,
Yeah.
but humans become so disconnected
Yeah.
An ego.
and egotistical. And
We
about
separated from
power.
earth and nature.
Yeah.
We separated from what we are.
Yeah,
People want to
so-
know why they're different.
Yeah.
So years ago when I was doing meditation, I talk about very many years ago, I remember I went inside the inner earth because I asked to go. You can go inside. if you
That
want.
that was my
I went
first.
inside of the center.
That's where I went. That's where I met Kali.
I saw this
Wow.
huge emerald
Ooh.
stone, huge.
The emerald
And it was
tablet.
this kind of shape, and it was rotating,
Wow.
and clockwise probably. And they say, "Don't touch." It's okay because it was big.
So
huge.
shiny.
It probably called to you, and you're like, oh.
They say that it was protect and shield by certain means, probably fairies. I don't know, but certain
Yeah.
very enlightened high
Elementals.
beings, elemental. And they say that
Devas.
it was creating it was going to
Yes.
Gaia heart,
Ooh,
the planet
that was it.
Earth. So it was the heart of a planet, literally.
Yes.
And so it was very protect because every thought or everything was amplified. So this is why I say, don't touch, be neutral, be your best. And so they invited to stay a few seconds. I did not stay longer because it's very sacred and nobody can come here unless they're invited and they need to keep this high vibration and very neutral. I thought, I don't know if I can stay longer because I'm
Right.
pretty human. So, and I left, but I was surprised about the sense of, it's not about love, but harmony. It was more harmony and beauty. And I was like, oh my gosh. So this is what I felt from Gaia. Is the reason why I believe that there is more in this planet that we don't know. We have no clue.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, and we pushed her to the brink. That's why I think she activated so many people.
Absolutely.
Like everyone's being activated. Like this is probably the
but
largest
also
activation we've had.
We chose to come during this
Right.
time for a reason.
Hmm.
All of us here together.
And I think this is the time.
Yeah.
I believe that this is the right
I think that's why
time.
after the pandemic, it had to take
I
so
feel
many
like
people
I
off the
just feel
planet
it higher.
because we couldn't go into that. I don't think we could go into it. Yeah.
Everything's
It's
nice.
going faster and faster. You
Yeah.
think it, and all of a sudden, there it is. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Well, it used to be
Because that's what
3D.
Dolores came and said too. We're going into that fifth dimension, the new
Right, we're
Earth,
going to the fifth dimension
and
and new Earth.
that's why I think the pandemic had to take so much of the population
It
out.
did.
Because
It
we
did.
couldn't ascend with all those. That was their contract, and so they weren't supposed to come into that ship.
That
That's
makes
what I think.
sense.
You
That
know.
makes a lot
Yeah,
of
because we
sense.
went from 3D and now we're 4D, and that's why we're all everybody's a little bit more heightened.
And interesting that we've been talking about the age of Aquarius, and we're finally in the age, and this is when the feminine is coming back to bring the balance, because we're just so off balance.
It's so masculine. War.
No offense.
But you know, the feminine is also inside the male. So
Yeah,
it's really
that's why it's
about
like we don't need one or the other. We
feminine.
need balance.
It's
I
to be
mean,
more,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
But that's what's going to happen. So that's why I think everybody's feeling all the stuff that's happening because it's gotten really rough. And so I think, like, you know, when something, like if a rat's drowning, it's going to, like, grab other rats so it doesn't sink or go down.
Yeah.
So we're going to see this, like, battle and it's going to go up and down and,
I
and
can
then,
tell you
then
that you
it'll
are
balance
very
out.
Italian. Because you knew your
Yeah.
translator.
Do you want to know how you can kidnap me and not make me talk? Just tie these. And I can't do it.
Yeah.
No,
You
really,
do
because
that
I'm the same way.
experiment
So
on
I can
Yes.
see you.
Yes.
You guys both offer
Remember when they, like,
She was saying that. She was like, you are so tough. She's like, you got her from there. And I was like, I mean, my grandpa was born there.
there's a
And
it's
apparently I've been there a
something
lot of times
funny
in
where
past lives.
this
Yeah.
No.
So